What up, guys? It's Rob Monty here, bringing you guys some new wrestling news content. First and foremost, I want to apologize for not posting up content this past couple weeks, just because, for one, I actually injured myself for one, and two, I've been taking time to just, you know, look at new techniques and new forms of programs to help better our videos and better our channel in general, and just basically just taking time to get other stuff done as of late. And just recover. I mean, this is a very it's actually healed up pretty good, so I'm looking forward to the stitches getting removed from there. But anyway, what happened was I got a huge big cut on my hand, so everything's gonna be fine though. Everything looks good, so I'm looking forward to having these stitches out. Also, I'm kind of looking forward to future content on this channel. Alright, so a lot of shit has happened since I posted a video, apparently. I think the last thing I posted up was my reaction to the whole idea about Paw Patrol and Gone with the Wind being banned due to what's going on with the protests and riots. And, you know, just a lot to take in with that, because around that time, I mean, as you guys know, there's this racial injustice and police brutality situation that needs to be taken care of here in the U.S. I'm going to leave it at that. It's just been crazy, you know, and just crazy in general. I'm a little offended, though, because of what CM Punk had to say about AJ Styles during the whole thing. I mean, a lot of people were asked, where do you stand in this whole thing? And I was just reading it up online with AJ and Punk, and CM Punk then responded to a fan on Twitter after giving his response to the whole situation, and he basically went on a rant about saying, well, that was obvious. That's what, when the fan asked, well, AJ hasn't said nothing. Well, it's obvious he's a problem. You should have seen that one. That's basically what Punk was doing. And, you know, what pissed me off about it was, why are you putting the gun to AJ's head? Maybe the brother didn't even process it well, you know? And he's just taking time in slowly to either, one, focus on what he's got to do and make sure his family's okay. And maybe he hasn't developed a full opinion of what's been going on. I mean, I look at it, I can't really give you guys my full opinion. If I did right now, I think it'd be crazy. And I'm just trying, like a lot of people, I think AJ is one of those guys who are going to stay silent because they want to know what they can say through the whole thing, but they don't want to say something that's not necessary. And then on top of that, AJ went on to say that, you know, why would I want to respond to someone that I don't respect? And that person is being CM Punk. I don't think it has nothing to do with people who are going up and protesting against racial injustice. I believe AJ, like all the other guys in wrestling, are against racial injustice most of all. So I just think he just didn't want to focus on it, and you know what? He shouldn't have to. What pisses me off is that Punk tried to put the gun to his head and say, hey, you better tell everybody that you're with everybody. You know, that to me that's wrong. That's just wrong. That's somebody trying to push a narrative and trying to get other people to push the narrative so that everybody will get to say it. And instead of just letting things work out, this is one of the reasons why I say celebrities are bad people to go looking for opinions of, because some of them don't always have good opinions on themselves, and then on top of that, sometimes they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. As far as my stance goes on it, I agree with Morgan Freeman. In order to end racism, we need to stop talking about it. We need to stop looking at each other as a person of this ethnicity or that nationality or that color. We should just look at each other as man, man, or woman, woman, or man to woman, you know. I know the transgender people are going to get upset because I'm just saying that, you know, and not mentioning them. It's vice versa, guys. Just vice versa. We need to look at each other as human beings. We shouldn't be judging each other just because of what our nationality or what our color is, you know. Because if somebody did that, I'd probably say, well, my color is orange. I mean, quite honestly, it's not right to be doing that. We should be seeing each other for who we are. And that's not from, it's not from skin color, it's not from ethnicity, it's not from the shape of my eyes or how big my mouth is or how fat or skinny I am, you know, it's what's inside. We should be judging each other through our soul, our actions, and what kind of people we are. And that's what I got from Morgan Freeman. And, you know, I think he was the most wisest person to say something like that. And looking at a person like CM Punk, he's one of the celebrities I would never, ever take advice or even want to hear his opinion. Because, quite honestly, he's known to say shit that is just bullshit in general. Other than that, I feel like AJ was being a class act through this whole thing. And, you know, quite honestly, that's basically how I see it. AJ Styles was being a class act. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, he doesn't have to respond if he has no opinion about it. Has no opinion about it, I mean, it's like there's no reason to say it. Maybe the full opinion hasn't been developed yet. Some people take time to process shit longer than others do, you know? And maybe some people are not even focused on it, too. That's another thing. Other than that, I found it was cool of John Cena and Chris Jericho to send donations to the family of George Floyd and to put a stop to racial injustice. And I think John Cena is a huge, huge class act. And as far as Titus O'Neil goes, guys, I believe Titus O'Neil is probably the right wrestling voice to hear about this whole racial injustice, police brutality thing. I think he was the right guy because he'll give you a straight up opinion. And on top of that, remember that everyone in the situation is still a human being, you know. And I like how he went off on people on the news. I mean, he said it. He's like, hey, this is not right, but so is this. And that's why...
Here's a reminder.
Alexa, thank you. Alexa, thank you.
Reminder. Cheryl take insulin blue.
Alright, I gotta do shots. Alright, guys, sorry about that. That was my Alexa giving me a reminder to give my mom her shots. I'll go give it her shots in a little bit, but first let's finish this video. Yeah, so I believe Titus O'Neil, he spoke it well. He said it well, and you know, I mean, if any wrestler I was going to agree with in this whole entire situation, the one person I would rather listen to than anybody would not be CM Punk. And I know AJ Styles probably stands with a lot of those guys out there against racial injustice. At the same time, I think the right person to be speaking on it would be a person like Titus O'Neil or Big E, because those guys, they know how to talk about it. And, you know, the one person I really wanted to hug out of all those guys is just Xavier Woods. I mean, I saw him on I believe it was a Twitch interview, and he was breaking down and crying, and, you know, I just like, man, I feel bad for you, man. So, you know, it's been a rough 2 weeks, guys. That's for our country in the United States here. I know I live in Hawaii, but we're part of the United States, so as a country, it's been a rough week. I also want to give a shout out to all the protesters here in Hawaii who actually did your protests the right way. You all peacefully protested, and you did a good job. I think after all this, though, guys, as far as my stance goes on it, I think we need to find better solutions and figure out what is a better solutions. I'm against abolishing police because that's just asking for chaos in general. Maybe we just need to reform. And you know what? I agree with President Trump of basically working on a reform and just, you know, I hope we get a better plan for our police officers. And you know what? I'll recommend it because, you know, even though some people might not like China right now due to the coronavirus, China does have a good idea of how to get their plans done, and that's that they set up a whole thing called the San Shiwu, which is basically the 3 to 15-year plan. And I think maybe that's what we need to start doing here in the United States. You know, plan for long-term things versus what a policy wants, you know? That's my honest opinion on that. All right, so enough about that. If you guys were affected by what happened in the last couple of weeks from the racial injustice and the police brutality, I mean, there's a lot of videos going around, you know. Hey, leave a comment, man, and, you know, I'm here. I want to listen. And you know what? If you need to use my comments as a platform to speak up, speak up. And speaking about speaking up, wow, oh my God, the wrestling world is going through a turmoil as far as sexual allegations, assault, and accusations, and oh my God, just so much going on this. I think I heard 12 names originally, but it's now just keeps getting bigger, and bigger. And it's not just within WWE, guys. This is happening around with AEW guys. It's happening with TNA guys. It's happening with Dragon Gate guys. I mean, majority of them are from the UK too. I'm just like, wow, there is so much of this. And it's a sad thing because I think a lot of people are like shocked that some of the wrestlers are actually doing this to fans, wrestlers, or people that are acquaintances of them outside of the ring. I mean, it's just wow. And you know what? I'm going to say this much. I give a big shout out to Keith Lee because he's been a very, very strong spokesperson about this, and he's been encouraging many people who have been abused, have been harassed like this, and he's just asking y'all to speak up so that it can come to light, we can fix the situation, and just, you know, all around make the situation better. And, you know, it's just a lot, you know, and I actually agree with Keith Lee, and I'm glad he's doing this and encouraging. And I believe there's other superstars such as Natalia who's encouraging to speak up. I mean, it's just, my God, guys, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm shocked and ashamed at some of these guys, and you know, there's some of these guys who are actually questionable, and then there's some of these guys who are owning up. And then there's just guys who are getting penalized in general. I think as far as WWE goes, Matt Riddle and Velveteen Dream are the ones who are being currently pending an investigation due to the fact this is the second time people have heard that Velveteen has sexually assaulted or harassed somebody online via Twitter. If you guys want my honest opinion, I don't know how true that will be, but there is screenshots of Velveteen Dream basically grooming a fan. And personally, I look at that and I'm just like thinking, is that really Velveteen Dream that's doing it? I'm looking at it. Looks like his normal Twitter handle. But at the same time, I'm looking at the name, trying to check to see if it's really Velveteen, you know? Main reason why I say this is because I personally go on Instagram and Twitter myself once in a while, and once in a while I'll get a fake. I'll give you guys a good shot, just to show you guys what I'm talking about. I mean, it's crazy. The reason why I question if it is Velveteen Dream is because at one point I thought it was the real deal, but let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. Yeah. Shoot, where is it? Don't tell me they deleted it. Okay, they might have deleted it, but I'm gonna give you guys a good example, because I've had superstars message me out of random they just message me out random, and it's like they're trying to say, "Hey, how you doing? How's your family? What do you do for work? Oh man, I'm so blessed to have you as one of my fans." And I think even Chris Jericho even talked about this because he said it's not even me. I'll give you guys one right here. Apparently, somebody who is claiming themselves. Let me see if I can get that. They're claiming themselves as Alexa Bliss, even asking for pictures and all that kind of shit. I mean, that was my picture on that one, but basically, you get the point. This is not a real person. This is not the real Alexa Bliss talking to me. And basically, they're asking me for gift cards, money, and I'm like, I don't want to give you a gift card. I don't want to give you money. Why would you need a gift card from me or money from me for your fans when you make tons and tons of dollars on your wrestling salary, on your WWE contract, And quite honestly, they don't stop. They don't help. And guys, look, I have a bunch of these guys. There was one last week with Asuka, And then before then, prior to this, Sasha Banks even messaged me about it. That to me, I was like, my God. And the one thing that I got out of the Sasha Banks one, which was really, really nasty, and this is how I know it's not Sasha Banks, is when she starts offering free nude pictures of herself. And to me, it's like, I don't think Sasha Banks would ever give me nude pictures ever. And the fact of the matter is, this person never even had the nude pictures to begin with. They're asking for money. They're asking for a gift card. So they're going like, yeah. I'll give you my nudes if you give me this gift card, and they won't do it until you give them a gift card kind of thing, right? I have not given them a gift card. Mainly because I know that thing is going to get traced back to my account. And quite honestly, I don't want that. So once they started asking me about the gift card thing, I just shut it off. Because I know that's not the real wrestler. I know that's not Sasha Banks talking to me. I know that's not Asuka talking to me. Because I don't think Asuka would talk like the way this person's talking to me. And as far as Alexa Bliss goes, I mean, do you know how many people actually think Alexa is so hot that this would probably get a lot of people to try and actually think it is her? And then on top of that, when you look at the handles and the accounts, the names are not the same as their official. So I know they're not real. And I warn fans, be careful, because the person that's telling you this or even saying this kind of stuff to you are fake people. They're fake people coming up to you and saying this. They're probably from Nigeria or Russia or somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, or these are just scammers in general. But that's why I question what's going on with Velveteen's situation, because the person's showing screenshots of a Twitter handle. So that's why it's very questionable, and I think it needs to be investigated a little bit more. As far as Matt Riddle, apparently WWE has known about this. Matt has actually come out to them about it and has talked to them about it, and basically they looked at it. It didn't happen on their watch. It happened where Matt used to work at. So that would probably be like the independent promotions from Chikara to Evolve, all of them. So WWE is fully aware of what's going on with these guys. So are they protecting them? Maybe. I can understand why they're protecting Velveteen and Matt Riddle as far as this goes. But maybe they're dealing with it in a different way. But other people, such as Gentleman Jack Gallagher, has been released from WWE. Jordan Devlin, I don't know if he's even still with the company right now, but he was suspended about a week or two ago. And it's weird because he was expecting to come back and they took him off TV. And then there's more guys, including people from Imperium and NXT UK, who was on this sexual allegations list. And then there's even more. When you go to Impact, I believe it was Joey Ryan, Michael Elgin, and Jake Chris, or David Chris, or something, that's what his name is. And so far, Michael Elgin has been suspended, and they're actually investigating to see what's going on with that. Joey Ryan has been fired. So has Jake Chris, I believe. And then on top of that, there's more talent coming out. I mean, the NWA has lost Dave Lagana as a part of their team because he didn't want to be associated with it anymore. And there's actually accusations from him, allegations against him. So he's even stepping down. A lot of other guys have even deactivated their Twitter accounts. I believe Matt Riddle has. I believe Joey Ryan has. Yeah, so this is some real shit and some deep shit too, guys. Oh man. And then I believe someone in AEW, I don't remember who their name is. If anybody knows who I'm talking about from AEW, who was also reprimanded for this, leave the comment below. Just because I believe that there's a lot of people on this list. I mean, it's just wow. And then also, Marty Scurll was also involved with this as well, and he's even gone on word to try and take responsibility and says, I kind of know what they're talking about. Yeah, I think I know this person. For all of you guys who are pretty much bashing her, let her speak. She needs to speak up. I want to listen. I want to know what I did wrong, and I want to own up to it. The same thing goes for another superstar in the name of, I believe, Austin Aries. Yes, Austin Aries has also gone on record and tried to make it better. He's even said it. I want to improve as a better person. If I did something that harmed you, I want to be a better person. And he even went on so far as to stating that both the Austin Aries character and the real life Daniel, who plays Austin Aries, are two separate people. And he wants to make sure that he can improve as a better person as Daniel and even his character Austin Aries. So for those of you guys who are wondering what's going on, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. And then I think the biggest news of all of that is that Chikara has also closed down due to the allegations. In fact, I believe it was the lead writer, or even I think maybe even the CEO of Chikara, or Mike Buckenstage, I believe it was. Let me show you guys this, because he came out 2 days ago to talk about Chikara in general, and I was surprised. Oh, by the way, for those of you guys who don't know, Liv Morgan is upset with WWE. I'll go right into that after this, but oh shoot, I think I might have closed it. Anyway, did I? Let's take a look. Oh. My God, these guys are crazy. I always have fun when I'm talking with these people on EWN sometimes. And sometimes I'm just not acting serious too, but some of these guys get really, really upset. Oh yeah, and that's even another one that's coming out. I actually will go over that in a little bit. And this one too, but anyway, okay, I can't find it. My computer's taking forever too. Maybe you know what? I'll show you guys the statement on the screenshot from when I edited the video. But basically, Mike Buckenstage, I think that's what his name, Buckenstage. He basically he has said that he has discontinued Chikara due to the multiple sexual allegations against him. So by doing so, Chikara is no longer in existence as a wrestling company. It has RIP'd, unfortunately. So if you guys were looking to look at Chikara content for future, you just want to watch future Chikara events, I think they're finishing up their last set of events before they close down. But as of now, they are done. So if you want to watch Chikara matches, you gotta go to the Chikara Library and Archives. And there's playing matches on YouTube from there too. As far as my opinion about this, it's sad that a wrestling company is gone now due to the actions of promoters, talent, employees. It's sad. And I'm going to join with the links, the side of Keith Lee, Natalia, and all these guys, and tell you guys, hey, if this something has happened to you, speak up. Say it, because people are looking to fix the situation. And if there's someone that needs to get fired or gets reprimanded, then frick, let them. People got to take responsibility for their shit. Remember that. So, speak up. I mean, a lot of us right now are ashamed of what's going on in the wrestling world when it comes to that. I think, let's go into it. I think I wanted to read this for you guys because I think you guys just saw it, and I thought it was something to... is that Brock Lesnar has also been accused of sexual misconduct by a former comrade and co-worker in the name of Terry Runnels. And what she had to say was, I don't have a lot of respect for Brock. I don't think Brock respects wrestling fans. Brock did something that if it was today's day and time, what she goes in, he showed his penis to me and called my name as I was walking past where he was in the dressing room and opened his towel so I could see his manly bits. I would have rather him not be so disrespectful of a female that's been in this business for as long as I've been. He knew he was gonna have a lot of power. They were gonna give him the title. I've been in the business a long time. I've respected what he did. He was very I have respect, and what he did was very, very wrong. From a respect standpoint, from a sexual harassment standpoint, it was wrong. And this happened in 2004, ladies and gentlemen. As far as Brock Lesnar in 2004, I'm going to put into some factors to think about. One, Brock's a young kid in 2002 to 2004, so he's going to be doing immature, stupid shit anyway. Number one. And I know some guys out there, you never did anything like this before, but there's some of us who have. And I'm not one of them, but I know some people who have done this kind of shit before, and they're proud of it. Especially at that time. When you talk to them now, they'll tell you, oh, I was so fucked up, I was ashamed of myself back then. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you that for real. I don't think Brock... If Brock did this, I don't think he appreciates the fact that he did it. And if he did it back then, it was probably because he was immature. I'm pretty sure that's what Brock Lesnar would tell you today. Also, I want to put a note that Terry Runnels has had an issue with Sable. So she and Sable do not like each other. Sable, as you guys know, is married to Brock Lesnar. In personal viewpoint from this, I'm taking this whole situation with a grain of salt. But she's right. Brock doing that is very, very wrong. Should Brock get reprimanded? Maybe, but it's 2004. It's 2020 now. I mean, that shit's so old and over with, and I'm pretty sure Brock would apologize, but I don't know what's going on with them personally, in general. But just to play devil's advocate, devil's advocate. Maybe Brock was just too immature at the time, and he thought he could get away with it. You know, when you're young like that, you're immature, and when you have the power that Brock does, it's easy to get it to let it go to your head. I'm also gonna add one more thing too. 2004, Brock was miserable as shit. In fact, that's what led him to leave the WWE to go for the NFL and the UFC and New Japan. That was the year that Brock said, "Fuck WWE." You know, he flew the coop. Not to make anything right. I mean, what he did was wrong, and I agree with Terry. But I'm taking it with a grain of salt just because I'm counting the fact that all these factors went into this, you know? There's just too many factors going on here, and there's too many, like, it's like when you're making a good dish. You have too many flavors and they overwhelm the dish, you're not going to enjoy the dish. Unless you really want all those different flavors. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, what if you have put too much lemon? What if you put too much salt? So now the thing is sour as fuck. Or, you know, that's just my opinion. I think there's just too much things going on. But if Brock really did do this, Brock, you need to go apologize. I'm sorry. You need to go apologize to Terry and give her a hug. And move the fuck on. I don't know what she's looking for, though. That's just my opinion. Alright. Next on next on the news today, I was gonna bring you guys up on Liv Morgan, right, guys? Yeah. As you guys know, Liv Morgan is frustrated. Holy shit, we got big news actually breaking right now. But first, Liv Morgan. For those of you who don't know, Liv Morgan has been traded to Raw from SmackDown from the draft, as we all know. But apparently, Liv Morgan is now upset with how WWE has used her within this whole past year. I think a lot of people will agree with this. I mean, I'm one of them, because I felt like she shouldn't have been in that rivalry with Rusev and Lana. And the fact that they were trying to get a lesbian reaction out of it wasn't what I was expecting from it. I mean, it didn't work for me in personal. But Liv has a lot of potential of being a top woman superstar in WWE. And I agree, she hasn't been used properly in general. And she's upset by it. And now she feels like they are basically leaving her behind. In fact, the photos you saw from my screenshot earlier were the last real photos of what they're doing with her. So, yeah, she is very frustrated. I think there's a lot of guys, in the last couple weeks too, there's been more than 20% of the WWE roster who are very upset with WWE. And as of currently, there's a bigger situation that I'm going to go over in a little bit, that a lot of the talent are pissed off. But I want to show you guys some breaking news that's just been breaking out before I go into it. And then we'll go into the big article at the end. But this is definitely big news. Alright. So, as you guys can see in front of me, breaking news. Tessa Blanchard has been fired from Impact Wrestling. And this is what it said. Impact Wrestling has confirmed that it has terminated its relationship with Tessa Blanchard and stripped her of the Impact Wrestling World Championship. And my honest opinion, what happened? What was the main reason for this? So I guess in the next video, when I do my next video, I'll be talking about this more. I'm going to be following this story as it goes. But she's no longer with Impact Wrestling. And basically what is being stated here as of what's led up to this, it says, Blanchard had been living in Mexico with Daga, and there were said to have been issues between the two sides for a while now. While we'll have more on the developing story as it becomes available. My personal opinions on this is like, wow. I knew some shit was going down, but damn! It led to her termination with Impact Wrestling? So, technically, that means the Slammiversary show with Eddie Edwards, Michael Elgin, Ace Austin, and Trey are all. It's gonna be we're gonna have a new world champion, guys. Well, you know what my honest opinion is? Oh, sorry for that, guys, but my opinion is Moose should be declared world champion because he has an official world title of Impact Wrestling. Moose is the true world champion. But yeah, guys, for real, I knew this was not a good thing when I first heard Tessa was not going to be there for the big show at Slammiversary. I think it was Slammiversary? Yeah. Oh, man. Also, before we go into the next thing, for those of you who don't know, AEW is doing their own show next week. And it's they're being counteracted by WWE doing they're doing the Great American Bash at NXT. NXT is going to produce Great American Bash next week, and this is a counter reaction to AEW's Dynamite next week. So, and this is what has happened. Both Cody and his sister Ash have basically responded. Ash going like, I think WWE should be cutting Cody Rhodes' mother a check for using the Great American Bash name because it's a Dusty Rhodes creation. Cody goes on to say, it's all good, friend. I appreciate the sentiment. Although the event means a lot to my sister and I don't owe the IP and ain't holding much grudge on it. My focus has to be on our show and talent, making it fun, making it violent, making it memorable. So, for those of you guys who are wondering what I think about this whole statement by Cody and his sister, I can understand them being upset with the fact that WWE is using the Rhodes creation of the Great American Bash. I mean, anybody can understand that. I mean, that's like, what a slap in the face. But Cody's not against it. He's probably all for it. I mean, it gives the talent on NXT a chance to shine and make them have a bigger show, you know? I mean, I like the idea. I think NXT should do the Great American Bash. Take over the Bash. That would be awesome for a pay-per-view name. Quite honestly, I think it's great. I'm down with Great American Bash next week. I'm down with Dynamite next week. I'm going to enjoy Fyter Fest, and I'm going to enjoy the Great American Bash. Why? Because I love wrestling. And the fact that talent are getting more opportunity to show what they can do is something that's awesome. You know? And I'm pretty sure that's how Cody feels about it, too. And in his eyes, like he said, he'd rather focus on what they're doing for Fyter Fest and worry about what WWE is going to be doing. And holding a grudge doesn't really help Cody at all. You know, it just doesn't in general. And I know there's going to be fans who are saying, WWE, you're so petty. Let me tell you something. This is how you cook heated shit. Because why? We're trying to make good stuff, make good entertainment, and we're trying to provide you with the best wrestling content so you would watch the show. Or else, why would you come back? We're trying to give you a good steak. You know, we're just trying to. We're trying to cook you a nice, bloody, rare steak. I know some people like it well done. Some of them like it just blood. But, yeah. There's nothing to be upset about, guys. Just be happy that talent are getting more opportunity show what they can do. Whew. All right. Last but not least, the big article today, and that is COVID-19. For those of you guys who know, since the pandemic has started, by the way, China is going through a worse version of it for their second wave. I think a friend just texted me about that about maybe 10 minutes ago, because I brought it up to them, and they lived up there anyway. And quite honestly, it's a scary thought. And the fact of the matter is, we're still on the first wave. What's happening in Florida and New York right now, that's breaking out because of all the because we're starting to open up again. That's still part of wave 1. Wave 2 is happening right now in China, and they're trying to figure out how to contain it themselves over there, even though you can't necessarily trust them. That's just my honest opinion. But anyway, while we're talking about COVID-19, in WWE, this was actually one of the biggest concerns among fans and people who've known wrestling to be this way. In fact, this was the biggest worry going into holding WrestleMania when they clocked down all the states. And that was the fact that somebody was bound to get COVID-19 some way. There's a lot of people within the wrestling community who feel WWE hasn't done a whole lot to stop the COVID-19 because they think that they're just taking temperatures like this. Hey, oh good. Hey, good. But I watched a video prior to all this breaking out which showed MVP getting tested. And he had the whole nose swab and the tongue swab and everything in his video, showing that he was tested and he tested negative. Unfortunately, in recent weeks, there happened to be a certain superstar last week who was a developmental talent who was there to be part of the audience of that show that had tested positive for COVID-19. And ever since then, WWE has been taking the extra precautions to test everybody. And they've been testing a lot. And now it's come back that over 2 dozen, my bad, 2 dozen, yeah. Over 2 dozen talent and employees have come back positive for COVID-19 in the last couple days. That's what has been reported. Unfortunately, one of them, and it has been announced, has been Renee Young. Fortunately, and I wish Renee the speediest of recoveries. I hope you don't get any more sick than you are. I hope it's just the mild symptoms that you have. But I just hope that she recovers fast. And then another person who also got it was, I think it was Pierce Adams. I think that's his name, Pierce or something Pierce. Anyway, he's working in the top of the road production crew. No, not road production crew, but like the road agents. He's also tested positive. And I don't think it's being reported that he's been tested positive. Main reason why I say that is because I went on Twitter the other day, and he showed his test on Twitter through photo on Twitter. He snapped a photo, and it said, "Wow, what a thing to have on your birthday as a present is COVID-19." It's not confirmed, but the fact that he said it, I automatically assume he might have it. And if he's part of the 2 dozen people that have it, I wish you speedy recovery. And all the other guys who are infected and have tested positive, best wishes. Get well, get better, follow everything that the quarantine needs, and on top of that, get a lot of hot liquid in. That's one way you can beat this virus, is to make sure that you keep your lungs open, you're breathing hard, you're breathing practice breathing exercises, and just just making sure that you can clean out your system with, and hot liquids has been highly recommended. I mean, scary. In a little bit, and then speaking of Renee Young being infected with COVID-19, AEW has also taken their precautions, as they were informed by Jon Moxley that he has he has actually contacted the world champion of AEW. Jon Moxley has contacted AEW officials, that letting them know that he's not going to be coming in because he has come in contacted with someone with COVID-19, that person being his wife, Renee Young. So, and he basically decided to take time off so he can help take care of her, also to notify the talent and the officials there so that they can take care of their part too. So, and which was the most responsible thing to do. I mean, if WWE is already doing their testing right now, I mean, it's probably a wise move for AEW to take what Moxley has said to them and start their own testing themselves. So, yeah, COVID-19, guys. Wow. Last but not least, I think I'll save this for tomorrow's news. Or do you guys want to know? Alright. Yeah, I'll save it for tomorrow, guys. Other than that, guys, you hit a like, hit up subscribe, leave a comment. Give me your thoughts. What do you guys think about the COVID-19 disaster that's going on with WWE? What do you think about the sexual allegations and accusations? Hell, if you guys have some comments about what's going on in the current landscape, let me know. If you guys want to ask me questions, go ahead. I'm all open. I'm all ears, Other than that, if you are being sexually harassed or assaulted by somebody, speak up. Y'all take care. God bless, and thank you for watching. Take care.